Good evening, everybody.
Hey, everyone.
Are you curious when you're finally going to be able to have those results that you've been looking for in your business? Okay, we're going to be talking about the one place that you need to start if you want to start seeing those lasting results, both now and then also carried into the future.
Absolutely. You guys, as you're hopping on, say hello. Let us know where it is you're coming in from. That way we can say hi and make this as interactive as possible. And if we haven't met before, my name is Tim Graff.
I am Becky Graff.
And we help home business entrepreneurs leverage powerful online systems to create the perfect lifestyle business.
Yeah, so you guys, and tonight's topic is really something that a lot of people seemingly fall into.
Yep.
That whole hamster wheel of, I want results. When are we going to have those results? I'm doing the things, but I'm still not really seeing what I wanted to see in my business.
Yep.
Can you relate to that? Let me know in the comments if you can. Okay, because we're going to be talking about the one place that you must start. Okay, if you want to start seeing results.
Yep.
Okay, we all want them. We kind of have this idea of what it might look like and that big picture intention and goal.
Mm-hmm.
But how do you start seeing them now?
Yeah.
What is it that you actually need to do? And then we are going to be sharing with you the secret to staying focused and moving forward so you don't get lost in the weeds. Again, there's a lot of trainings out there. There's a lot of potential strategies that you might use. However, are they keeping you on target to hit the results that you want in your business? Or are they shiny object syndrome, and are you becoming distracted?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's what we wanted to chat about today. So I'm curious for you.
Yeah.
What is it? What is that thing that you must start with? What is that one thing that you must start with in your business if you want to start seeing results? I'm curious what you think it is. So as you're hopping on, let us know in the comments.
Let us know.
Okay, hopefully our comments are working.
Yeah, hopefully.
And if not, then we'll come back and address them at a later date.
Exactly.
So here's the thing. A lot of times people feel, and I'm curious if you can relate, that they're not seeing, hey, Rosetta.
Well, there's Rosetta. So, hey,
our comments are working.
Love
Awesome. Okay, so they feel like they're not seeing results,
mm-hmm.
right? They're not getting those wins that they think that they should be at this point in their business. And I'm curious, what is it that you think you might need to start with to be able to start seeing those things? Okay, because I know that we've fallen into that trap ourselves. Like, oh my gosh, we're doing the things, but how come XYZ isn't happening?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, can you relate to that? Asking yourself that question. Okay, how come I'm doing all these things and yet these results that we're looking for are not materializing? What is wrong with us? What are we doing wrong?
Rosetta says confidence.
Confidence. I love that, Rosetta.
Yes.
So I'm curious. Confidence. We need to start with confidence, but how do we actually get confidence?
Yeah.
I love that you put it in there, Rosetta, because confidence is
a huge piece.
It can be a very huge piece of this because it kind of is a bit of a motivator. When
mm-hmm.
you feel confident about yourself, you want to continue, right? Can we agree that if you feel confident in something, it's easier to do. You're more apt to show up. You're more motivated.
Yes.
You feel more inspired. Okay. All of those things can typically happen when you have the level of confidence. But there's something that has to happen before you actually have confidence or self-confidence.
Yep.
Okay. And that's what we wanted to talk about tonight is the number one place, okay, that you must start if you want to start seeing results and lasting results in your business. Okay. Consistency, another amazing point. Rosetta, yes, consistency is part of it. By doing things, okay, and we're going to get into that number one thing. Yep. Consistency actually helps you build confidence. So you're definitely on the right track with that, Rosetta, but it's still not the number one place you must start. We're still not there yet. We still haven't hit ground zero. Okay. So just to fill you in. Okay. And I love the interaction. Thank you so much, Rosetta. The number one place that you must start is actually with yourself.
Yes.
Now you're like, well, myself, how? I'm doing the things, right? Taking action. But here's the thing. You've got to start with yourself and identify what it is specifically, first off, that you want to achieve, right? You got to know what you want to achieve.
Yep.
And then you also have to identify what you're actually doing, not what you think you're doing, not what you wish you were doing, but what you are actually doing. Rosetta, right? It's very simple. We're going back to basics.
It's just simply breaking it down. Yeah, just chunking it back.
But here's the interesting thing, you guys. It seems like, well, duh, right? You got to start with yourself. You got to know what you want to get.
Of course.
But you would be surprised at the amount of business owners, okay, who actually kind of skip over that step.
Yeah.
They go from zero to I want to be making X amount a month.
Yep.
They don't really break it down and chunk it down to, okay, what's reasonable for me to be working on in this time frame to be able to hit that result. And you've actually got to start with yourself and identify where you're coming from, where you're starting from versus where you want to be. And break down those steps incrementally about, okay, if I want to, in 30 days, rank advance 1 time, what are the specific behaviors and actions that I must do to get that result?
Yeah. And we talked about the result and the intention setting. We talked about that on our live last night. If you guys didn't get a chance to catch that, go back and grab that training that we did last night, because it's all about setting that result, that end result that you want to have, and then having that intention. Tonight, we're diving a little bit deeper into that middle part, okay, about what we talked about last night. And we mentioned of behaviors. Okay, we have to actually do the behaviors. But where do those behaviors actually start? Who do they start with? And as Becky just mentioned, it starts with us, right? It starts with, because we are the only ones in our business that can move our business forward.
I say, whose business is this?
Yeah, exactly.
If it's your business, then it starts with you.
Yeah, and we're the only ones that can actually take those actions and do those behaviors to move that forward. And a lot of people do skip over the whole idea of who. Okay, who does this? We have this overarching idea of we want the result. Okay,
Facebook groups do it.
But we have to keep in mind that it all really starts with us, and we have to be those ones to chunk it back and to take those actions, to do those behaviors to move the business forward. And we get so overwhelmed a lot of times because we skip that step and we don't understand who it starts with, and we don't prioritize the behaviors, which we're going to dive a little bit more into here in a second. And so we get into this state of overwhelm. And then before we know it, we're spinning our wheels. We're on that hamster wheel in our own head with this overarching problem. Okay.
How many of you can relate to this?
Yeah.
Then
we really don't take action at all. We just get stuck in this, oh my goodness, I don't have everything I need yet. And so I got to keep looking. And we're in this overwhelmed state, and we're just spinning that hamster wheel instead of actually taking action and moving forward.
Or how many of you are thinking that you're taking action?
Yeah.
Okay. But maybe when you take a moment to really identify what it is you're looking for, working on, that they maybe are not actions that are moving you towards your goal, your end result. Okay. Because it's kind of one of two things. You think you're doing a ton, and then when you break it down, you're like, oh, I'm doing stuff, but they're not moving me any closer to where I want to be. They're just actions. I'm just doing.
Yeah.
Doing for the sake of doing instead of very effective, intentional actions and behaviors. Okay. So what Tim's talking about is we've got to get out of our own heads. We actually have to put this down on paper. We've got to get real with ourselves and identify where we want to go, where we are, and what we need to do to get to that result. Okay. So the secret to staying moving forward, you guys, okay, the secret that we said that we were going to share with you is to really focus on the top 3 things that you want to achieve. Okay. Now these 3 things are not, I want to be chairman of the board of this multiple billion-dollar corporation. Okay. These are not creating a foundation.
Unless you're to that point where that's attainable.
Okay. And again, this is reasonability. Reasonability
comes back to being reasonable.
Okay. Because we're not talking 3 to 5 years from now. You want to hold that person in esteem of who you want to be and what your business ultimately wants to look like, for sure. But if you try to go from where you're at right now to the person you're going to be in 3 to 5 years, you're going to gap out. Okay. There is no bridge that big that can span that distance. You've got to chunk it back. So the secret, you guys, is to pick the top 3 things that you want to work towards and set those top 3 things within a 30-day time period. What is reasonable, not realistic, but reasonable based on you, based on your skill set
and where you're at,
based on your time. Okay. Based on all of the things that you have going for you right now. Is this reasonable for me to hit? If it's not that like creme de la creme result that you want, it's okay right now. You're working towards that. But if you really reverse engineer it and you break it down to 30 days, what are the top 3 things that I want to see happen in my business within this next 30 days? It makes it a lot easier to break those things down, to identify, okay, based on that, I need to do these specific behaviors. And then you can actually plug them into your calendar so they actually get done. So that it's not just an idea of, I need to do Facebook Lives 3 times a week. I need to send out 10 friend requests a day. You actually have blocked into your calendar, Monday, 8 a.m., I'm spending 15 to 20 minutes to send out friend requests to people. Okay. Tuesday at 4 p.m., I am going to spend 25 minutes writing an email to my list. Okay. Do you get where I'm going with this? Is this making sense to you? Let me know in the comments. Okay. Because again, if it's just a perception of what we might do and actually isn't physically written down with a when and where I'm actually going to do this, 9 times out of 10, life gets in the way and it doesn't happen. Okay. So the secret is, again, pick the top 3 things that you want to work towards this month. And focus on what are the behaviors and actions that are going to get you to those then you actually need to put them into your calendar
Yes.
so that they have a time and a place where they are going to actually be acted upon.
Yep.
Okay.
And then this is where, as Rosetta mentioned, this is where at that point the consistency comes in, okay, which builds that self-confidence, which keeps you motivated and driving forward.
Yeah.
Okay. Yep.
Yep.
So
that's,
they were on par. We
Yes.
just wanted to break it down
We
just
wanted
a
to
little
start
bit
the-
more.
yeah.
Yep. Start at the very
start at
beginning.
the very beginning, because again, a lot
Because
of
a
people,
lot of people miss that
how
step.
many of you like to go from 0 to 60 in like 5 minutes?
I know we all do, right? We
Okay.
want that.
We want quick results. Camera's backwards.
I know. I'm always backside.
You want quick results, but to be able to get quick results, you actually have to slow down first. Okay, you got to slow
Exactly.
down to be able to speed up, starting with the fundamentals.
Mhm.
And a lot of times that's what gets skimmed over in our excitement to build this business, is we kind of skip these foundational pieces that are not
Yes.
sexy, they're not super exciting, but they are fundamental for you to be able to build a sustainable business and start seeing results not only now,
Mhm.
because now you can measure, right? If you've got this stuff written down, you've acted on it, you can look back and find out, well, was this effective? Was it not effective?
Yes.
Did that time slot work or did it not
Yep.
work? Okay, where am I with this? What might I need to tweak? And so that's where you can start seeing results now, and it helps you stay consistent.
Yep.
So that you can have a sustainable business, having consistency, building your confidence, just like you said, Rosetta. Love it. Thank you. 0 to 60. Yes, we all want 0 to 60.
Exactly.
Okay. We all want to go faster, but the reality of it is kind of rein ourselves in a little bit to get very
You have
specific.
to go slow to go
Yep.
fast.
You got to rein yourselves in, get
Exactly.
specific, be able to.
Because when you have that
do that.
specificity,
Specificity. I love
thank
that
you,
word.
then we can actually move a lot faster
Yep, you can
when
di-
we're very specific in the details.
Yep, you can dial up the needle. You can turn the needle and the speed up because you slowed
Exactly.
down enough to put things into play, and you've practiced that, got that consistency, built that muscle up a
And
little
there's
bit.
not those gaps.
Yep.
And that's the thing. If you're jumping simply from 0 to 60 and you're not taking those incremental steps to get to 60, you find those big gaps in the middle that'll hold you stuck. And
Yep.
if you start and chunk it back and you go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 up to 60, you have no gaps, no place to get stuck. And so you're actually going slow to go fast.
And that's where those top 3 things that you want to achieve
Exactly.
this in the next 30 days, a month, okay, if that works for you. Even if you need to break it down to like a week,
Yep.
do it.
Yeah.
What are the top 3 things I need to get done this week? What are the top 3 things I need to get done this day? Okay, break it back so you have something focused and intentional
Exactly.
to work towards, so that you can slow down, get very specific, detailed, plug it into your calendar, and then start taking consistent action to build that confidence, that consistency, and start seeing those results in your business.
So I challenge you guys to actually take a few moments, sit down and go through your business and think about those things that you may not be doing or that you may need to start implementing, those actions to take to move your business forward. Kind of write those down and then take the top 3 that are going to move you forward and that are reasonable within the time frame that you want to. If it's the next 30 days, like we've done as an example here, or if it's the next week, great. Whatever that is for you, whatever you want to see that end result be in that time frame, and it's reasonable, pick those, prioritize those top 3, and actually take action on those. And then once you do number 1, move to your second. And then add a number 4, but never have more than 3 things that you're working on at one time so you don't get stuck in that overwhelm.
Yep, in that overwhelm drained loop. Okay. I
Exactly.
appreciate you guys being on with us,
Yep.
Rosetta. Thank you so much for your participation, interaction. Always a pleasure to have you on with
Yes,
us.
it is. And
Yeah.
everybody else that's hopped on, we
Yes.
appreciate the hearts, the likes, and loves.
Yes.
Yep.
Remember, you guys, be curious, be bold, take action, and remember that it is choice, not chance, that shapes your life.
Yes.
Have a good night, you guys.
Take care, everybody.
Take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye.